Some places stay with you, not because they were beautiful, because something happened there that you still can't explain. I have a river like that. This was 20 years ago. I had just started my first job, first weekend off, and all I could think about was going home. My mother's cooking, my own bed, the village I grew up in. My village sits between three others. There are two ways to get there. The long way. Take the train, get off at the next village, walk 5 kilometers or catch a tempo. The short way. Get off the highway at the village ahead, cross a small river, walk through the fields, and you're home in less than a kilometer. I took the night bus, got off at the highway stop. The short way it was. It had been raining. The river was fuller than usual, moving faster. I wasn't worried. I'd swum in that river since I was 6 years old. I knew every current, every stone. I took off my clothes, put them on my head, and waded in. The water was cold, much colder than I remembered. The kind of cold that gets into your chest. There was no moon that night, just the sound of the river and the dark. I was almost at the other bank, and then, crying. Someone or something was crying. I still can't tell you if it was a woman or a child. 20 years later, I genuinely don't know. But there was pain in it. Real pain. The kind of sound that goes straight through you. My first thought was, someone needs help. I pulled myself onto the bank, clothes half on, started moving towards the sound. There was an old mahua tree nearby. Big, old. The kind of tree that's been standing longer than anyone can remember. The elders in our village used to say, "Don't sit under that tree after dark." We never took it seriously. The crying was coming from there. I stopped, held my breath, stared into the dark. Nothing. Just the wind in the leaves, the old tree standing in silence. Then the crying came again, from behind me, from the river. I went back to the river, looked out at the water. The dark was so complete, I couldn't see my own hands. The crying was coming from the middle of the river now, right from the center. I was about to step back in, and it stopped. Just like that. Like someone had turned it off. I stood there, clothes half on, cold water around my feet, alone in the dark. Then it started again, from behind me. I turned around. Nobody. Went forward. Nobody. Went to the river. Nobody. Checked the tree again. Nobody. And still, the crying kept moving. One direction, then another. Always just out of reach. Always just where I wasn't looking. And I didn't notice until much later that an hour had passed. 1 full hour. Alone. In the dark. By that river. Under that tree. And then I remembered something the elders used to say. They said, some spirits wander. The ones whose deaths were not peaceful. The ones who are hungry. The ones who are waiting. And they call out. Again and again. Moving the sound from place to place. Leading you further and further from where you need to be. Until you're too tired to walk. Or you walk into the water. Or you simply lose your way. Forever. Those were violent times in our area. Feuds, old grudges. People disappeared. Bodies were found in the river, on the railway tracks. How many of them, I wonder, are still there? I didn't think. I ran. Bare feet on the field mud, clothes in my hand, thorns in the soil, didn't feel them, didn't care. Just one thought. Home. Home, home. And when I finally saw the light from our house, I stopped running, walked inside, closed the door. My mother looked at me. What happened? You look pale. Tired, I said. Just tired. What was I going to tell her? But here's the thing. That wasn't just my story. My uncle, my father's brother-in-law, he took that same path one night, alone. He said he walked for what felt like an hour, maybe more, and then he noticed something. He was going in circles around the same tree, again and again, without realizing it, without choosing it. He ran, made it to the nearest field, and collapsed. They found him there in the morning. He was sick for days. He never talked about what he felt in that time, what he saw, what he heard. He just said, "Don't take that road at night." People in our village don't use that path after dark anymore. Not alone. Not in the rain. I haven't been back to that river at night in 20 years. But sometimes, when it rains and I hear water, I hear it again. That crying, coming from everywhere and nowhere. I think about that hour I can't account for. I think about where I might have ended up, and I'm glad I ran.